Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 88 of Europa Universalis IV as France, the game where not very much exciting happens when you have a Regency Council. That said, in this game warfare always feels like the only way to win, but as there isn't really a win condition in this game and the closest thing you have to it is either your own personal goals or just going by score, it'd be quite possible to actually win the game just by diplomatically annexing other nations and just being really, really good at trade. I mean, I think you would always have to have at least a defensive army, but you could probably still win without being hyper-aggressive, although it's just the thing that you tend to do with EU4. It's one of those games where the optimal method of play seems to be build massive armies, conquer massive parts of Europe, and that's the way it goes. Looks like Sweden actually got released in that peace deal from Great Britain. Why aren't I getting messages from Great Britain? We'll sort that out in a second, actually. What can we get here? +1 national unrest until the end of the game, but it would give us plus 10% national tax modifier. Well, our national unrest is already like -3 something or other. Yeah, so we could go ahead and grab that, and it would give us a fair bit more tax. Or we could just get 5% tax, or we could gain a free stability. Well, I can always buy stability, but I can't gain tax modifier until the end of the game. So let's buy that. So we'll take a little bit of a hit to our national unrest, but I mean, it's still in the negatives. So yeah, I think Great Britain actually forced Norway to release Sweden. So what I'm going to do is go over here to Great Britain. I'm going to right-click on there, hold click. Can never remember how to get this flipping thing to come up. Over here, left click. Okay, I've lost the interface now. There used to be a way you could tick them to be a country of interest so that you would always get information about them. And now I am losing where that is. Ah, there we go, right click. So what we want is mark country as a country of special interest. So now, if Great Britain do anything, I'll get informed about it. It'll come up in here. You used to be able to do it in the message settings somewhere. Filter messages from interesting countries. Anyway, at least now, if anything happens with them, they should do it. Are they still allied with... They are still allied with Aztecs. Okay, that's fine then. What happened over here, actually? We didn't actually have a look. It looks like Norwegian, Mexico... don't know whether they had those provinces or not, so they may have lost something. It is quite hard to tell, really. We arrived here but didn't do anything. We need to be sending a colonist out. And I sent these two guys over here like an age ago. They're not doing anything either. There's not an awful lot that we can do. I guess we could sort of come up here and try and get a bit closer to Newfoundland and block some of these coastal areas off. So let's go ahead and do that. And you two ships, you can go all the way back to the fleet and we'll put you back in mothballs because we don't really need you around anymore. What's the force limit looking like? We've got our force limit is improved massively now. In fact, it's improved so much we can afford to grab a another 20 men and we'll stick them there. So we're going to have an absolutely colossal army if we do have to go to war with anybody. We do have enough admin points to be able to grab our next tech. I'm not going to grab it just yet because we are massively ahead of time. So it might be worth just putting down another couple of spy agencies just to try and help with the money. It'll use up a little bit of our admin power. But that's fine because the amount it's going to cost us to tech up will go down over the next couple of years. We're not at war with anybody. So we're not in a desperate rush to grab our next idea group straight away. So we can gain 5 prestige, which would put us up to the cap, or we can get plus 10% spy offense. Not really using my spies all that much. We'll just grab the prestige for now. Let's just keep going through and throwing down the odd 1 or 2 of these spy agencies. Again, mainly I want to target the provinces that give me the most money. We'll grab Co just because it's out here on the far reaches. More ships getting built. What about up here? 120, 120, 120. We'll just grab those because I just want to get the ones on the end. That's probably enough. We won't spend any more there. We've lost our admin advisor. Let us go with the... Let's go with the inflation reduction. Because we do have the gold mine now. So having the gold mine will cause us to get some inflation. So being able to reduce that is quite nice. We could spend admin power to reduce it. I don't think we really need to worry about doing that just yet. There we go. Army tradition. What's our army tradition up to now? 98.8. It's getting there. Really, really getting there. What's our next mission? Yeah, same old missions we were getting before. So as before, I'm just going to grab one and cancel one just to reset them. Hopefully we can get something a little bit more interesting. I could go ahead and vassalize Corsica, but I really don't see any point in doing it. And at the moment, we are well below our relations limit. Brandenburg. Brandenburg don't like me. Why are you disliking me all of a sudden? It's still that unlawful territory thing. Let's royal marry them. That'll help things a little. And then let's go and keep improving relations when we can. Do we have an alliance with you? No, we don't have an alliance with you. See, I'm tempted to... I still don't know. I still don't know whether or not I want to side with Brandenburg or whether I want to side with the Commonwealth. I think Brandenburg are more powerful, but that might be more reason for siding with the Commonwealth. Because that way we can actually... I guess I've got to have at least one powerful ally. This is the problem. I don't really have any allies at the moment. So what we will do is we will try and stay friendly with Brandenburg. If we manage to take Austria out, then we'll consider Brandenburg last. But having Brandenburg on our side seems to be a lot more useful than having the Commonwealth on our side. I think that's the way I'm going to look at it. We are still 3 years ahead on tech. We are not at cap yet on any of our points. We could go ahead and culture flip another province or two. So that's not a bad idea. We could get Nassau, and let's just go ahead and grab another one as well. Just do a few every now and then. So we've got some more ships over here. First of all, you guys need to be mothballed. And we want to group you up with the main fleet. So you're all going to group up. And then we've got this random group of 20 here. So let's go for the top one on the list. You're going to go to Genoa. And then we're going to start to build another 40 and group the next lot up. So spending all their monies. 20 lights. Off you go. Sounds like I'm trying to buy a pack of cigarettes. So, I would still like to take Barcelona. What's Castile like in terms of military power these days? Military. Armies. Castile. You have 182k. What's that? Your total? Wow, that's a lot of men. 182k. Compared to my what? 263k. Yeah, actually. Never mind then. Castile, what's your manpower like? You've only got 20k manpower in your pool. Wow. If only we weren't in a Regency Council. Do we still have a claim on here? Yes, we do. And that runs out in 36. So we might just have time to make that claim. Is there anything else worth trying to nab from them? I guess we could try and fabricate a claim or two over here. Covert actions, fabricate claim. Balearis. Can we not grab that? No, oddly enough. Okay, well, we can go for Visia. Just try and grab some coastline from them. The reason I was going to try and grab that in Mallorca is because I thought that it's quite possible that Corsica might have gone and been able to grab that for me, but no rush. No rush at all. See, Great Britain still have a few troops around. Do need to take some more chunks out of them. I'm actually a little bit upset that they haven't declared war on me. Let's go ahead and send an insult to Great Britain. Because if anything, it'll give me a little bit of power projection. They're not my rival anymore. Why aren't you my rival anymore? Who are my rivals? What day is it? What am I doing? Who am I? Okay. Rivals. So my rivals are Castile, Austria, and Russia. That's okay. Okay, well, how about if we go and insult Castile then? I'm not bothered. I'll just insult anybody. Send an insult to Castile. There we go. Yep, boats, boats, boats. Boats are brilliant. So that gives us a little bit more power projection because we've just insulted a rival. They probably won't attack me, even though they absolutely hate me. But they know that if they actually tried to go for me, I'd probably just ruffle stomp them. Which I think is why they're holding off. We're still 11 below our force limit here. Again, we've got over 25 power projection. So we can have another leader without upkeep. But we don't really want one. Improved defenses in Alsace. Yes. Let's go ahead and do that. Alsace, you're over here. So we will go and build the Star Fort. Thank you very much. Salzburg, what are you like in terms of stuff going on here now? The autonomy is going down quite nicely. Are we actually getting any tax money from you at all? Yeah, still got the non-accepted culture. Still got the unlawful territory, which will go away. And the local autonomy. When will the unlawful territory go away? 1728. The 18th. Oh, today. No? I was sure that had the date. Yeah, it's just gone away. Recent uprising. Recent uprising. And yeah, so that's it. So now we've just got that local autonomy on the non-accepted culture. So that's much better. Get some manpower out of it as well now. That's all good stuff. Still ahead of time. A couple more years we'll be able to grab that. We haven't hit the cap on anything yet, so that is absolutely fine. We could also grab our next military tech. Although, again, we're ahead of time on that at the moment. So it's going to be a question. What do we want to do? Do we want to grab the military tech? Or do we want to... What do we get in the next military tech? We get better cavalry and we get better infantry. So I think we should grab the tech first. I think that's going to be the important one here. How much money are we making? Because it seems like we're making a lot. We are making 120 still. Let's go ahead and grab this 20. You're going to go to Bordeaux. So let's find you. Off to Bordeaux you go. And, well, we've got all that money. This is, once you get to this point in the game with France, you like never run out of money. They're just pretty much unstoppable. We've got a massive pool of manpower, which is only going to get better once we take quantity. I don't even think we need to take the quantity ideas, but I'm going to do it anyway just to take the absolute mick. What I could do, of course, is we could take something else. We don't have to take quantity ideas. We could take something like trade ideas. It would definitely give us more merchants. But at the end of the day, do I need to take anything? I don't really need trade ideas. I'm making a huge amount of money. Influence ideas is probably a little bit pointless. Because we can't really do much. We can't really do much diplomatic annexation anyway, because nobody likes us enough to do so. Fabricating claims has never been an issue. Aggressive expansion, everybody hates us, so who cares? Diplomatic reputation, again, we're not diplo-vassalizing, it doesn't really matter. It could be useful. I mean, humanist ideas can be useful as well, I suppose, because it gives you things like less national unrest, more tolerance of heretics, less years of naturalism. Of nationalism even. Naturalism, everyone running around in the buff. Accepted culture threshold, minus 50%, which basically means that it's, let's say you needed to have 10 provinces of a certain culture to be accepted, you'd only need 5, so that can be quite useful. Although humanist ideas does require admin. So it might be worth grabbing it, but I think going for quantity ideas, because I want to go aggressive. I want to go aggressive and try and wipe out as much of the HRE as possible. That is my sort of... I mean, I'm already top on score. Right? We're already top of the scoreboards, but my plan is to try and do as much damage to the HRE as possible. I'd like it if we could also take out Great Britain, but I don't know if that's going to happen. If we go in and have a look at country and we go to score comparison, we can see that we are top with 10,490. Second place is Castile. Castile are mainly behind because of their military rating. And their admin rating, actually. They're quite behind on everything. I mean, look, we're massively high on everything. So I might have to go and do a bit of Castile stomping just to slow them down a little bit. But though I honestly don't think they're going to catch up with me ever. If you actually just quickly go back in there and have a look at that score, we're gaining 8.47 per month. They're only gaining 7.34 per month. So the gap is actually increasing each month. So the chances of them actually catching up with me in score is just not possible. I've forgotten to do what I was going to do with these guys, which was split them up. One of you is going to go over to this province. And you, I guess, can come over here. So that's going to be a colony, and this... Ooh, and this one is going to be a colony. You should win that fight without any problems. There we go. Obviously, I'd have liked to have colonised Wappus, but it isn't adjacent to one of our current colonies. So, but we will work up there, and that'll stop Newfoundland sort of spreading in that direction. So, real shame that we didn't manage to grab colonial California. So we've just got these little tiny bits of French Columbia that are sort of... I don't know, do you actually have any troops? I can't see any troops at all. Otherwise, we'd just go to war with these guys. And just try and take them over. Yeah, we both have claims on that province. I'd love my guys to be able to do it, but unless they can march through Castile, it's going to be really, really tricky. And I can see Castile actually going to war with them and taking that. Amazing how fast Holland managed to go and build all this over here. I hadn't even noticed it. Again, it's cheaper to take the hit in power than it is to spend the money, the admin points to get back up to maximum stability. So we'll go ahead and do that. Great Britain has declared war on Brunei. Well, I'm not too bothered about that. Doesn't really have any impact on me, per se. We're into the new year now. So we will... Did I build the wrong number of ships? No, we still have some on the build, I think. Did I click on the wrong number of ships? I've got 15 light frigates here. Have I got any ships being built? Yeah, we are still building some ships. Okay, that's fine. I did click on the right button. We're still ahead of time. We haven't hit our caps for anything yet, so we're not going to worry too much about that. So we could still go ahead and build another couple of buildings. So there we go, some more army tradition. Let's just go and grab the ones over here. 120, 140, 120, 1 and 1. We'll grab them all eventually, but just going for the more valuable ones first. Okay, new mission. Turn one of our colonies into a city. Well, it will happen at some point, so let's just go ahead and accept that. So we're nearly at a point where we can take our next admin tech group, and then we have to decide what we're going to do with our... ideas. Are we going to grab the military idea, or are we going to... I think I'm going to grab the military idea. I just want to have the quantity ideas means we can just literally go war into war into war, because your manpower... We do have a big manpower pool. But as you saw in the last war that we got into against the HRE, when you're fighting in the mountains and you get... I mean, okay, it was bad management on my part because I wasn't really making sure that I wasn't getting absolutely loads of attrition. But your manpower does go down quite quickly. Yes, it rebuilds quite quickly, but not so much when you're actually in a war. So it's going to be a really good thing if we can actually get quantity ideas, because your manpower recharge is pretty much at the same speed it goes down. So it becomes very difficult to run out of manpower. Natives rising up, don't really care, think we're fine, got some units to reinforce. Still making decent money. Truce with Austria has ended. Now, will Austria declare war on us? We've got some culture conversions there. What do we like on coalition? There is no coalition. There's a lot of people that really hate us. Look at that. Our aggressive expansion with Austria is minus 224, and they're not in a coalition against us. I mean, they still might do. The truce has only just ended. But to be minus 224 and not coalitioned, they are scared. They are big time scared. Look at what's going on in the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is getting absolutely wrecked. They've got Bavaria in here, smashing them up. They've got Saxony in there. They've got Austria in there. They've got a load of rebel problems as well. They've got a load of revolutionaries. So yeah, I don't think the Commonwealth is going to be around much longer. So I really do need to forge my alliances with Brandenburg, because I'd sooner have them Not necessarily on my side, but at least not fighting against me in wars if at all possible. So we'll have to be very, very careful about that. We're into the new year now, so we can actually go ahead and grab these things. We're going to go ahead and grab our admin ideas. We are going to go ahead and grab, well, not ideas, our tech. We're going to go and grab the military tech. And we may as well go and grab the Diplo tech as well, because we're behind on them all. So our next idea group is going to be quantity ideas. Some really, really nice stuff in quantity ideas. The very first thing we get in quantity ideas is a 50% national manpower modifier. Look at this. Our manpower is already 326k. So we are going to have somewhere in the region of about 500k manpower, something like that. Then we get recovery speed is 20% faster, which is brilliant. Regiment costs 10% less, and that is when you hire a regiment and also their monthly maintenance. So we're going to have 10% less maintenance costs. I should actually know it because there's a separate one there. I was sure it was the same thing, because I know there's a lot of modifiers in the game when you get like when you get an advisor that reduces your military maintenance cost. The maintenance modifier also reduces the buy price as well. But okay, those two ideas are going to reduce our maintenance and our higher price by 10%. Naval force limit modifier, not that big a deal. Building power cost, again, is nice, I suppose. Most of the buildings only cost like 10 power, so they'd only cost 8. I suppose it all adds up over time. And then you get minus 10% land attrition for the last idea, plus you get another 50% land force limit modifier, so we can have even more troops. So we're definitely going to go quantity ideas. Definitely. And we can afford to grab the first one. So watch our manpower, 326k. Let's pick that up. And our maximum manpower, when it eventually updates, our maximum manpower is now 473k. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. So we've maxed everything out there. We do need to upgrade our units. So we need the White Coast Infantry and the Ulan Cavalry. So White Coast Infantry and Ulan Cavalry. Often you do find that you have choices. It's like if you look here, you can see that we've got the Carabiners, the Reformed Latin Hussars, and the Ulan Cavalry, and they're all military tech 26. So we could technically pick either of them. Now, they all have the same number of points, or at least they should do. So if we look here, we've got 3, 3, and 3 in fire. We have... what have we got there? I don't know, that one's slightly higher. That one's got 9 in shock. This one's got 8 in shock. And this one has 9 in shock. And then if we look over here at morale, this one has 7, this one has 8, and this one has 7. Overall, they have the same amount of pips across the board in total. But you'll see that... you know, the Reformed Latin Hussars have slightly more offensive morale. But they have slightly less offensive shock. So really, it's apples and oranges, really. It doesn't make much of a difference. I suppose there might be some cases where you really need to min-max everything and just try and get the perfect balance depending on who you're fighting against. But I haven't really found where it makes much of a difference. So we can get +1 yearly prestige for 20 years. And we'd lose 10 admin power and 482 ducats, which we can easily afford, or we can lose 5 prestige. Let's take the yearly prestige. Don't mind doing that at all. We're going to be ending this video soon. Again, it's a little bit unfortunate that we haven't really managed to get an awful lot done because of that very annoying Regency Council, but it is coming to an end. So Regency ends on the 26th of August, 1732. So less than 2 years left on the Regency Council. Then we'll be able to go out and do some stuff. So we've got 20 ships. Let's add you to Bordeaux. Got to find you now. Add you to the Bordeaux trade node. And we will go ahead because we have a ton of money. Military leader has died. That's not good. Well, I'm not going to hire another one right now. I think it was our older leader that died anyway. I'm not going to hire another one right now because we're not in a war. And it's often a waste because sometimes they die. If you're near your cap and you're going to go over your cap and waste points anyway, you might as well buy them. But generally, it's not worth getting military leaders unless you're about to go to war. Let us grab 20 more lights then. What are we on our naval force limit right now? So we're getting close to it. We might not be able to get 100 on all of these ships. Well, I don't know. We only need another 80 in total there, don't we? And what are we on? Yeah, we won't quite manage to do it, but we'll certainly have a big force. And we are going to try and take some more coastal provinces. Austria is no longer a valid rival for us. Wow. So let's go ahead and revoke the embargo on Austria. And we get to choose ourselves a new rival. Right, we can't even... Right, that's weird. Apparently Austria is valid. So is Bavaria. I think I'm just going to continue to rival Austria. Don't know why it said that it wasn't... they weren't a valid rival. That was just weird. So we'll go back to Austria. And we will embargo them. A little bit stupid that it did that. Natives. And then we'll send them an insult. Because why not? Send an insult. We are running at speed 4 now. I thought I was running at speed 4 before. It turns out I wasn't. I was actually running at speed 3 for most of it. So, how much have we got left in terms of game time? Just while I'm closing all these pop-ups. It is 1731. The game ends in January 1821. So there's only 90 years left of game time. Which is not terrible. We do keep suffering a few casualties, and we are still regaining our manpower. It's also worth noting that, remember, the amount of manpower you gain each month is a percentage of your total manpower. So having a bigger manpower pool means you regain more manpower per month anyway. Also means you reinforce your armies that much faster as well. So it's really, really nice having all of this stuff. What do we like now on our... Yeah, we could still have another 13 men. Don't think we really need to right now. All of these ships popping up. Potential provincial unrest in St. Gallen, 0.2. I don't think that's going to be a big problem for us. Got another 20 ships, though. So you can go off to the English Channel, I guess. Because Holland still have a lot of the trade power over there. If we could just grab Zealand, and more importantly, if we could go ahead and grab Holland itself, we'd get a good centre of trade. So, looks like we're actually going to be possibly ending on a war. Portugal is requesting that we come to their aid in the conquest of Nupe against a load of unimportant people. But the Ottomans might get involved. Oh well, accept. Let's just slow things down over here. I don't think it's going to be a big problem. I don't think the Ottomans are going to be able to do an awful lot against us. And in fact, it doesn't look like the Ottomans have even come in. They are the protector of the Sunni faith. But at the moment, the Ottomans haven't even bothered to show up. So it does mean that we're in a war on Portugal's side. That's fine. I don't think we're going to have an awful lot of issue here. Portuguese Peru have got a lot of war exhaustion. Timbuktu's got a lot of negative stability. I think Portugal are probably going to win that on their own. I'm hoping the Ottomans don't get involved. They probably won't. But I think that is as good a point as any to end the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa Universalis IV. And I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.